Should you carry a gun in 2021? Based on the way this year has started, you may have to ask that question.
We're seeing protesters overcome the police.
Before this gets too deep, I want to share a few reasons why you shouldn't carry a gun in 2021. Number one, most people don't need to carry a gun because most people will never encounter violence anytime in their life. I mean, if you live in certain parts of Detroit, put it away!
Man, put that down, man.
Something to think about. Let's be real about it. It may depend on your ethnicity. It may depend on where you live. But most people will never need to carry a gun. Watch this. I spent 2 years of my life in a war zone, and there was not one single time I personally needed to use deadly force. That's what a gun is for. Use of deadly force. That's something to think about. Number two, the truth is, most of you don't really want the responsibility or the weight of deciding whether or not you're going to take a life. That's the decision you may have to make.
You gonna shoot me in front of everybody? Huh? Come on.
You can carry a gun for the right reason and then end up shooting the wrong person. The decision to carry is serious and the consequences are grave. Ask yourself this question: are you willing to take a life? And are you willing to have that on your conscience? Military service members have the infrastructure to deal with the mental health consequences of having taken a life. Civilians don't have that privilege. There was a soldier who came in my office with the burden of having possibly taken someone's life. He was crying. He was out of sorts. He was out of control, really. There was a secondary investigation to determine whether or not he had taken a life. He shot a .50 cal round into a moving vehicle that was following the convoy. Back then, of course, you couldn't be within 100 meters of the vehicle. A .50 caliber round has a kill radius that's pretty wide. He followed the rules of engagement, but that burden was still on his spirit. That's something to think about. Number three, it's quite inconvenient. What am I talking about? You have to put a great deal of thought into where you're going and whether or not you can take your weapon in to where you're going. Can you take it into a church? Can you take it into a hospital? Can you carry it on federal property? Can you carry it into a theater? What about a public stadium? What about a public concert? All of these things you have to plan for. And then securing it at home. Do you have a proper safe? There's a lot that goes into preparation. Here's another reality. If you don't practice, you can harm yourself. Professionals understand remedial action drills, corrective action. If you don't know what that is, maybe that's not for you. Something to think about. Finally, if you're in the habit of making poor decisions, perhaps carrying a weapon is not the best option for you in 2021. Most smart people avoid trouble. They lower their profile. They minimize their risks. They have situational awareness and they stay under the radar. But there are those who carry and they feel like a Superman. They feel invincible.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers.
Well, you're not. Something to think about. Ultimately, what you do does matter. Who you are matters. Who you hang around, the company you keep matters. Words have impact. Character matters. Verifiable, peer-reviewed evidence matters. And ultimately, truth matters. That's something to think about.
Look what happened because of what you did, what it led to. There were riots out there. 2 policemen are in critical condition. You're laughing. You're laughing. Someone was killed today because of what you did.
I know. How about another joke, Murray?
No, I think we've had enough of your jokes.
See you next time.